Hello YouTubers, shooters, reloaders, Glock owners, Flyer 556 coming to you today. We're going to make a video today on how to disassemble the Glock slide. There's a couple reasons for this. One is if you ever want to change out your slide plate cover in the back, it'll show you how to do that. And number two reason is Glock recommends that approximately every 1,000 rounds or so you should do this. You don't have to do it every time you clean your gun, but they recommend approximately every 1,000 rounds or so you should break the slide down and clean inside the striker channel and the ejector channel and clean the parts inside there and inspect the parts and then reassemble it, and you'll be good to go. It's really easy to do if you know how to do it, so I'm going to make a quick video today and show anybody who doesn't know how to do it, and at the same time it'll show you how to change that rear cover plate out on the slide if you decide you want to put a custom one on like I did. Okay, so here we go. Let's get right into it. This is my new Glock 17 that I made the video on yesterday on why I bought a Glock finally. Explained. This is that gun, my new Glock, and here we go. We're going to break it down, break the slide down, and reassemble it, and that's it. That's what this video is going to be about today. So here we go. We take the gun, as always, drop the mag, make sure it's empty. It's empty. Okay, bring our slide back. Chamber's empty, as you can see. Nothing in there. Gun is clear. Okay, so put the mag off to the side. As with all Glocks, to disassemble the gun, you all know how to do that, but I want to show you for anybody that doesn't. Rack the slide, make sure the gun is empty once again, point the gun in a safe direction, squeeze the trigger. Okay, now the trigger's been decocked. Kind of hard to get this all on camera here. Zoom out a bit. Okay, trigger's decocked now. Pull the slide back just a little bit, 1/8 of an inch or so. Pull both takedown levers down at the same time, push the slide forward. Slide the frame off the slide. Put the frame off to the side. Now, here goes your slide, guide rod, and barrel assembly. Okay, this is what we're going to be working with here today. So we're going to remove the guide rod, put it off to the side with the frame. Put these guys off to the side. We're going to remove our barrel. This is my Lone Wolf barrel that I explained in my video yesterday. Okay, now we're down to an empty slide as far as the field strip goes. What we're going to do now is we're going to pull the internals out of the slide. We're going to remove the rear cover plate, the rear slide cover plate, and we're going to remove the striker, the extractor, the firing pin block. I'm going to show you inside both of those channels, and then I'm going to reassemble it. Now to do this, I'm going to zoom in a bit here. Try to get this on camera so you can see. Use a small punch. Anything suitable. I guess the Glock disassembly tool would work fine, or a 3/32 punch, or this is a decapping tool is what I use, just because it's what I have handy and it works for me. What you're looking to do is this piece that comes down off the back of the striker, just in front of that right here, you want to insert your disassembly tool or your punch or whatever you're going to use. A small screwdriver will work. Put it right in this area between where the striker drops down here and the striker itself. It'll fit right in this little hole here. Okay, you want to press the striker forward. Okay, it's under pretty decent pressure, and then grab the rear cover plate on the slide and slide it down. Okay, you only got to move it a little bit. Don't take your finger off. Keep your finger over the back of this where the slide cover is. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep my thumbs over it and slide it down with my thumbs over it, because if you don't capture the striker and the ejector rod, they will fly out and go across the room. Okay, so that's how you properly remove the rear cover plate, which I've already installed my Don't Tread on Me custom one. That's off. Okay, now you can take your thumb off. Okay, now this is what you're left with. Okay, that's inside the slide. Here's your striker. Now you can go ahead and grab this notch here, pull the striker back. You can pull the whole striker assembly right out. That's the striker assembly. Okay, lay that down to the side. The next thing you're going to pull out, this is the ejector extractor. This is the rod that presses on the extractor. Okay, pull that out, spring goes to the rear, put that to the side. Okay, now there's 2 more pieces in here. There's only 4 pieces inside the entire slide. What you're going to do is put your thumb, this is the firing pin block, put your thumb on this firing pin block, press down gently, and tilt the gun over, and as you see, the extractor fell right out. Okay, now you can release the pressure on the firing pin block. That's what holds that in. Tilt the slide this way, and the firing pin block and spring will drop right out. Okay, now the slide is completely disassembled. That's completely disassembled. Now what Glock recommends is every 1,000 rounds or so you clean inside here, and they recommend putting no oil whatsoever in here. I'm up in the air with that, but Glock says no oil in the striker channel, no oil in the extractor channel. Okay, so you go ahead, go in there. They recommend using alcohol, like rubbing alcohol, with a Q-tip. Clean inside there real good, and they recommend no oil on reassembly. Like I said, I'm up in the air with that, but I'm new with these things, so I'm just going to report the way they report. They say no oil. Okay, so anyhow, clean everything out in both them channels. Clean out inside the firing block channel here. Okay, from what I'm told, a lot of brass builds up in this ejector channel here. Not ejector, extractor channel here. Okay, so clean all that out real good, and then once you're done cleaning all that out, you can go ahead and clean. This is your firing pin striker. This is your extractor rod. This is your extractor. This is your firing pin block. Okay, 4 parts. 5 if you include the slide cover. Okay, clean all these up real good. Now you can take this apart. Basically you pull the spring back and these 2 cups fall out, and then the spring comes off. This plastic guide comes off, but there's no need to go into all that disassembly. You just clean all these parts thoroughly. Mine are already clean because I never shot this gun. It's brand new. That's why I'm doing this video now. And once they're all clean, then you can prepare for reassembly. Okay, so reassembly is going to be exactly the same as the opposite of disassembly. So basically, the first step would be to take your firing pin block, which is what holds your extractor in, and put it in the firing pin block hole. Make sure it goes in straight. I'm going to do it with the slide in an upright position like this because I want to put it straight in. You want to make sure that that spring goes straight in. Make sure it's not cocked. Okay, so get that up in there. Put your finger on it. As you can see, I got my finger on it here so that you can press it down. Now, you see that notch? I'm trying to get this to focus here. There's a notch right here. When you press that down, you see that notch right there? Okay? That's what holds your extractor in. So you press it down until you see that notch show. Then, take your extractor, obviously with the claw forward, and take the round part and put it in that round hole right here. Okay, with this notch up. See the notch? Drop it in just like that with the notch up. Okay, it'll fall right in. And then take your finger off the firing pin block, and then this will put pressure down, spring pressure down, and it'll hold the extractor in. Okay, that's 2 parts back in. Then you take this piece here, the ejector rod that puts pressure on the, I keep calling it ejector, I'm sorry, extractor. Take your extractor rod with the spring to the rear, okay, with the metal part to the front. Put it in the extractor hole, straight in. That's going to press. As you can see, it's right here. Okay, that's going to put pressure on the extractor. Okay, that holds it in addition to the firing pin block holding it in. Okay, so there's no way it's going to jump out. Then once you got your striker nicely cleaned up, take your entire striker assembly, insert it in the rear, into the striker channel, straight in. Okay, straight in like that. It looks just like before you took it apart. Now, this part's a little bit tricky, but it's not so bad. take your rear slide cover plate or your new upgraded one like mine here, okay? Get it started into 2 grooves, and then it's going to stop when it hits the striker, okay? What you do, you could use a screwdriver or a suitable tool, but I found that I can use my finger, it works fine. Press down on the striker. It's not the easiest thing to do with your finger, but it does work. Press down, get it down enough so that you can get this cover plate just to pass over it, okay? Okay, now once it's passed over it, it's got it captured, it'll hold it in place. See how it's partially over the striker? Now your ejector rod right here, this is the next piece. You got to depress with the same tool that you use to take it apart. Depress that down enough just to get the cover plate over it to capture it, and then snap the cover plate in place. And that's it. The slide's completely back together again. Okay? So that's that. Now you're left with this. You're back to where you started. Your slide is all reassembled. Your firing pin block is back in. Striker's back in. Your ejector rod is back in. Your ejector's back in. And that's it. That's all 4 pieces. Back assembled. Okay, now to reassemble the gun, obviously you're going to take the barrel. Drop the barrel in. Okay. Take your guide rod assembly. Put the guide rod back in on the lower notch all the way down in the barrel there, like so. Okay, now your slide is completely reassembled. And zoom back out a little bit here so you can see. Take your frame, slide it on the slide like so. Rack the slide one time. Point the gun in a safe direction, do a function check, squeeze the trigger. Striker drops. Cycle the action. Squeeze the trigger. Okay. Cycle the action. Make sure your trigger resets completely where the center blade comes out of the front, which it does, as you can see. Okay. And pretty much that's it. That's how you disassemble and reassemble your slide assembly, which is recommended to be done approximately every 1,000 rounds. They don't recommend putting any lubrication in there whatsoever because they say it attracts dirt. And that's also how you can install one of these custom rear slide cover plates. Okay, everybody, and put my mag back in, put the gun back the way we started here, something like that. Okay, and there you have it, folks. That's my little tutorial on the Glock slide disassembly and reassembly. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Please remember, like, subscribe, share. Flyer556. Catch you guys on the next video.